Yeah, I'm back with it. I don't just react to these videos. I backflip them, man. I decided to hop off the porch and get a little bit controversial today. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure everybody heard about Charlie Kirk, and I found this video that says black people refuse to mourn the death of Charlie Kirk. So before we get into this, man, I just want to say the loss of life is always unfortunate, no matter who it happens to, and that's part of the fucking point. You know what I mean? I had recently made a post on my social media, and white people got mad about it. You know what I mean? Referring to Charlie Kirk. So in order to be fair, let's remember George Floyd died, and a bunch of racist people started posting what was it, the George Floyd challenge, you know what I mean, laying dead with a knee on your neck and take a picture of it for TikTok. It was a whole viral trend and shit. So you know what I mean, you know, you got the right to say what you want to say, but when shit happen because of what you say, like, you know what I mean, like, you're free to say whatever, you're free to do whatever, but everything got a consequence or a reward. You feel me? Either or. So let's get into this shit, you know what I mean? Let's see what they talking about. Why yeah. Shit. My bad. Let's go.
Thank God.
I know, right?
Black folks.
I know, right? Like, they was so ready to say he was black, bruh. The whole time Trump support, on your whole side, period. Let's just put it like that.
They want us to feel sorry for Charlie Kirk. But before you do that,
we have a problem in black America. The biggest problem is not racism, it's the lack of dads.
Well, my point, what I was trying to say is, I don't think that we're doing enough to help these black communities catch up.
If dads are around, kids flourish. And you know who agreed with me? Barack Obama. Barack Obama used to make this a central piece of his campaign. He came to this campus back in 2012, drew like 100,000 person crowd, and talked about how we need to rebuild the black family and put dads back. Why doesn't the Democrat Party talk about that anymore?
I'm fine with having fathers. I'm not against having black dads.
For sure. I'm saying, but don't we agree? Has anyone heard that mentioned on the national scale in the last 10 years?
We talk about that in the black community all the time. You feel me? And we also talk about the cause of that in the black community all the time. So he just be sitting up there talking and shit. You feel me?
Charlie Kirk's death has led me to an uncomfortable conversation that I want to facilitate. To my white brothers and sisters, how would you hope your minority friends respond to the celebration of Charlie Kirk's life when he has very publicly said things like this?
Should black people get reparations?
I believe they should.
So I, white man, have to play for black people. Why?
Wow.
Why it gotta be you? America did it, so the country should pay for it, as in the government. You know what I mean? Which shouldn't come out of your pocket since you didn't do it. But let's not, you know what I mean, act like it ain't, you know what I mean? We don't gotta go through you to get that, you feel me? And that shit need to come from the government. Period.
That's a really selfish thing you
just
said.
Hold on, why should I have...
That's a really non-empathetic thing to say.
Wait, why should I have empathy for a race? I have white guilt because I breathe? Why should the white students here have to work harder to pay for black kids?
You wanted to ask
They don't. That's a stupid ass argument they be saying. I don't even want to get mad. I'm gonna let the video play. Let's go.
What's that all about?
Not every black person has lineage connected to slaves.
That's
and
true.
Every white person doesn't have lineage connected to slaves.
Yes, that's right. So since every black person doesn't have a lineage connected to slaves, why should we generalize and say reparations for black people?
Because the country still do black people dirty. Right now. You feel me?
People that are in a worse place.
So over 150 years, they didn't have any ability to make better decisions, to save money, and to invest. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white man?
But if the groundwater slip and a fall, it's them so go like go drink water and mind my business.
So you notice how all this crazy stuff happening, bro, when Africa start taking all of their resources back. All of their oil, their gold, their diamonds, what is it, lithium, uranium, whatever it is in their mines or whatever, yo, kicking all them French niggas out of there, bro. That shit affecting America. And you know what I mean? If you don't see it now, you're going to see it later. You feel me? Word up. The longer this go on and America don't Quit trying to make people bend the knee so they can get their resources and shit, bro. That shit gonna end up, we gonna be fucked up over here, bro. I hope it don't come to that.
Again, if you have a black victim at 2 a.m. in a black neighborhood, it's reasonable to say that it was a black on black crime. 90% of murders after 2 a.m. in Chicago are black on black crimes. I'm from Chicago,
Right.
I happen to know it.
So-
Right? Of course we pander to blacks. They're in every TV commercial. They get more privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't ever say anything negative. You can lose your job. You will have your entire life obliterated if you say something racist. And yet we have to hear about how...
So the thing is, he looking like he wants to be able to say racist stuff, but certain things won't comfortably let him. So that's what shit like that be given, like, for real.
Racist we are. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white man?
Remember when Charlie Kirk said that black women didn't have the same brain processing power?
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picked, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
The murder of Charlie Kirk has plunged America into a dark and dangerous place. And frankly, I don't know how we get out of it. But I do know this.
We've been here, bro. Y'all just, like, now seeing it. You feel me? Like, we've been here. It's just showing the face now, like, for real.
We can't keep lying to ourselves about who we are as a country. Every time a burst of public violence disrupts our illusion of America, we hear the same empty ritual. This is not who we are. Violence has no place in America. Those are lies. This is exactly who we are. America was birthed in violence, founded in the brutality of genocide and slavery, and it continues to be violent today with more gun deaths per capita than any other industrialized society. From the Trail of Tears to Tulsa to the Tree of Life, violence has always been the American way. This silenced presidents from Lincoln to JFK and prophets from Medgar to Malcolm to MLK. It did not begin with the shots fired at Republicans Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump, or Steve Scalise, nor with the attacks on Democrats Gabby Giffords, Paul Pelosi, or Melissa Hortman. It is part of our collective DNA as a nation, the blood-stained memory in the stolen soil of the land. We are not now and never have been United States. Charlie Kirk's death makes that plain. One side crowns him a martyr, lowers the flag, and pins a posthumous medal on his coffin. The other cannot escape the consequences of the venom he spat at women, black, brown, and queer people. Yet we are scolded for naming his bigotry, as if racism were merely a political difference. He once said that gun deaths were a price worth paying for the Second Amendment. And then one...
Unfortunately, that is true. That is true, but it's still up to the person with the gun on both sides of the line, whether you're the aggressor or the offender, to not let it get there. You feel me? Like, before any of that shit, you grown, which means you got you know responsibility. You feel me? With a firearm, and you need to exercise that shit all the time. Discipline with your fucking ego and your temper and
bullet
shit.
in Utah prompted conservatives to call for war, just as one officer's knee in Minneapolis prompted Kirk to call a dead black man a scumbag. But we are expected to honor a man who dishonored George Floyd?
Exactly. See? Nah, it don't go like that. You know what I mean? Once again, I hate that he died, but I get it. You feel me? I get it, you know? We say the same shit about people in the street. If somebody gets shot and you knew they had it coming, shit, what else can you say? You feel me? It ain't like he did nothing to draw that kind of heat on himself. You feel me? It's still unfortunate, but at the same time, you know, shit, I live in the real world. Shit like that happened for real.
Who called Dr. King awful? What hypocrisy to pretend to honor peace while celebrating a man who denounced Dr. King, our greatest apostle of nonviolence. I take no joy in the death of my detractors. I would rather win on the battlefield of ideals than on the battlefield of weapons. But who in this climate can lead us from here? Who can be our Lincoln? While the 16th president called on the better angels of our nature, the 47th appeals to the worst demons of our disposition. And once those demons are unleashed, they cannot be summoned back. In years past, wars gave us fleeting illusions of unity. But America failed to do the slow, painful work that post-Holocaust Germany and post-apartheid South Africa had to do. The work of healing a wounded nation through truth, not lies. This is the truth. America was never great for those it erased from history. The challenge today is not whether we can recreate an imaginary past, but whether we will embrace an honest future and form a more perfect union that never existed. Either we bury the lies that have kept us divided, or the lies will bury us.
Keith Boykin, 1.
Charlie Kirk, this country is diverse. You can't just say the pursuit of diversity is compromising excellence. Diversity literally just means difference. This country is 13% black, it's 14% immigrant, it's 1/5 of every person in this country is Hispanic, it's 7% homosexual, and 50% of the country disagrees with you.
Okay,
Diversity is America. You cannot say
all of that is true.
You
Hold on.
are America first if you do not care about half of America.
I care about them so much, in fact.
You care about them so much that you don't want to give them
I didn't interrupt you.
access
I care
to
about
equal rights.
Well, hold on. No one said rights. Hold on a second. No. I care about them.
It is. It's equal rights. It's
Naima,
equal
let
access.
me finish. Now, who's interrupting who? I care about them so much. I want the only thing that they're ever judged on is to be their character or their competency, not their skin color.
Okay, so you want it to be a meritocracy. You want it to be so let's talk about a meritocracy.
Okay.
What experience does Kash Patel have to run the FBI?
He has amazing experience.
No, he doesn't.
You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
A white person's slot. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? If you not racist, what does that mean? You feel me?
Right?
Y'all don't be understanding. Like, y'all be saying shit like that, and you don't understand. Like, that's why it's like, you know, black people will never understand what it feel like to have white privilege, and white people, well, some white people, the white people that ain't poor and going through the struggle, y'all will never understand what it's like. You feel me? You'll never understand why motherfuckers are talking the shit that they talking. You feel
Today
me?
as a clear recipient of affirmative action, particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course. That's why we need affirmative action. Because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course. Oh no, imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson. They
see all the shit he talking, and now we imagining the world without his ass.
Think this is persuasive. They think as they kind of now reveal that I'm only here because of anti-white, anti-Asian forced discrimination policies.
You are.
That turned me into a bitter, resentful activist that hates white people, honestly, through, like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. When blacks in America did not have the same
You should have said that shit about a white shooter.
rights they had today, they were less murderous, there was less break-ins. Why is that? And the data shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil.
Now see, this right here, this is exactly why I hate he died, but at the same time I don't care about him specifically. You know what I mean? It's just burn that card. He out of there. He out of the deck. You feel me? It is what it is with him. You know what I mean? People like, and then you know the message that it spreads and the seeds that it plant in the young minds is, you know, It is what it is.
But what happens? A certain skin color now gets their own summertime celebration. Oh, wow, look how far blacks have come. It has now become a racial complaining day. Remember what BLM stands for: burn, loot, and murder.
Yeah,
DEI stands for
one of the biggest.
Didn't earn it, just so we're clear.
Can we also acknowledge, due to the laws under Jim Crow, that black people were significantly hindered from economic
Guys,
advancement?
this is a really important question. The data shows not really. Black Americans are poorer today in 2024 than they were in the 1950s. The disappearance of the black father has been the number.
There were no millionaire, there were no multiple millionaire black people back then. No.
One driver of black poverty in this country. At least agree that black dads not being around is a bad thing.
Anyone's father not being around is a bad thing. Starting in the 1980s and continuing onward, there's been a war on drugs. Is this correct?
I like the war on drugs. Blacks commit more crimes than whites do. They commit more murders, they commit more arsons, they commit more kidnappings. That's not a war on drugs.
Okay, that's the whole way that America got started, by white people. Murders, arsons, kidnappings, lootings. That's how America started now. It didn't get started by black people.
So that's a culture problem. Why are so many blacks committing murders outside of their population? So we've spent $20 trillion on uplifting black communities. $20 trillion, and black Americans are poor. Food stamps, subsidized housing, Medicaid, public schooling, subsidized college. We're talking about $20 trillion that's been spent on the Great Society. And yet black America is poorer, more murderous, more dangerous.
Part of equity.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist, okay? I live when I believe.
What does that mean?
What do? I get charity every single year. Crime, like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Because of DEI, it begs the question, when you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified.
And we see a white boss and we be like, we hope they ain't racist. Or we see a white cop and we hope they not racist. See, it's a flip side on every coin. Y'all acting like y'all got the coin with the head on both sides and shit.
If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? It almost creates thought patterns that are not necessarily. No one really cares when it's HR managers. No one cared when it was, just kind of paper shufflers or even engineers. But now when it's like, wait, hold on a second. You're going to remove my appendix and you're a black lesbian?
He hated empathy, y'all, so don't want us to show any for him then. You feel me? He doesn't want empathy, so we won't give it to him. I don't know how it feels to get shot in the neck, because I'm still alive.
I got the best news today. I heard that Charlie Kirk got shot. Is
Damn.
that the same person that said Palestinians don't exist? Because Allah has a funny way of doing things. He said, poof, be gone. Now you don't exist.
Damn.
So I'm going to wrap up this Charlie Kirk situation like this, right? If you a black person and you got all that hatred in your heart, I ain't got shit to do with that. And I speak for the other black folks that ain't got shit to do with that. None of y'all were ever slaves. The white folks that you hate were never slave owners. You are allowed to defend yourself if you deal with racism. And you could beat somebody's ass if you have to. They proved that in Cincinnati. They proved that with the boat incident in Alabama. Black folks can fight back today. So why do y'all bitch so much? What's the real problem? The times are different, and we need unity more than ever. And people like me stand for that shit. I am not a victim. You are not a victim. But if you think like a bitch, then you're going to be a victim because you victimize yourself. Wake the fuck up. We are in 2025. Let's unite and spread love. If you got something against that, fuck. Message.
Black people, why are y'all celebrating?
Ain't mad at that.
Like y'all better than that. Y'all really on the internet and happy that this man got shot unalive in front of everybody. I mean everybody. All because y'all don't like his opinions. Now I'm not riding with Charlie.
I'm not celebrating. It's just that, that's what you get. Like you knew the risk of doing that. It's like if you the same thing about Ray Ray and Don Don. They went out and they joined the gang. Don Don got shot. Ray Ray got locked up. you know, it's a part of what the fuck they chose to do. You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't feel sorry for him. That's what it is. I'm not celebrating. I just don't feel sorry for him.
But the nigga gone already, right? He gone. But my thing is this. Stop asking people questions and you not ready for the answer. Because if you just look back at it, he was only answering the question that y'all asked him and just gave his opinion. Y'all gotta realize that everybody ain't gonna agree. You got to agree to disagree. That's fucking life.
That's a fact.
Now, however, I went back and watched some of his clips when he was speaking on black people and the violence that come with black people. I saw that as well. But shit, look at it from this view. He got unalive from one of his own kind. Okay, that right there should prove a point. Black people ain't the only people that's violence amongst each other. What happened today to Charlie Kirk proved that. Just like I said on my backup channel, that's why a lot of this shit I don't speak up on. Because I don't want to be educated when it comes to shit like this. All this political shit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I hate politics. I ain't a Republican or a Democrat. I don't even be voting, bro. I don't like none of them. You feel me? I don't like none of them.
You will never see me talk about it because I'm just not into it. At the end of the day, we all gotta live our own lives. Let's just be real. Now, for the people that look like me, black people, God did his work. It's over with. Let it go. Move on.
Remember when Charlie Kirk said that children dying in mass shootings was deemed worth it? Remember when Charlie Kirk said that if his daughter were and had to carry that baby at 10 years old, that he would force his daughter to have that child? Well, I do. Charlie Kirk was a raging racist.
I ain't gonna lie, if they're that young, correct me if I'm wrong, well, really I'm asking a question. Ain't it like a health risk for somebody to have a baby that young? I'm just saying.
Hatred, used every single ounce of time of his life on this planet to spew hatred towards marginalized groups, and for the fact that people are like, he was a father, he was this, he was that. Although that is true, so are horrifically bad people in history. I'm sure Robert E. Lee, etc., or other people in history were fathers and had families. That doesn't take away the fact that this person was a bad person. And in the words of Charlie Kirk, he simply didn't believe empathy was real. So why should people sit up here and feel bad? No one condones violence. Violence is never the answer, but at the same time, you can't force some people to mourn something when they were actively being hated on by this group.
Alright guys, this video is directed towards the black community that thinks Charlie Kirk was a racist. The black community believes Charlie Kirk was racist. But I'm here to tell you that was false.
I don't know. I think he's like a plant or something. He's one of those who, you know what I mean? You ain't never really had to go through it. You feel me? And it's those like that out there. It's enough people in the world where you run into patches of groups of people who ain't never had to go through nothing dealing with this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Or at least not to an extreme where, you know, it hit home. You know what I mean? Definitely not. You know what I mean? Could be wrong, but vibe I'm getting off the gate.
Charlie Kirk did not speak based on opinions, but he spoke on facts.
Now see, when you say facts and statistics, I ain't even gonna lie. I like numbers because I feel like numbers don't lie unless somebody cook the books. You know what I mean? Unless somebody laundering them numbers, and which is what I feel a lot of is about to start happening now. You know what I mean?
Data. Problem within the black community is they hold on to old wounds and they blame their setbacks and struggles based on skin color. They have this victim mindset where everything is all about this. But the truth is we all have these same opportunities today. The real problem with the black community isn't that we are set back because of our skin color, but the real problem comes back to this victim mindset that we just discussed. And
I ain't mad at that victim mindset shit. He right about that, but he wrong about the other thing. You know what I mean? And there's room for that. There's room to be right about something and wrong about the other thing to prove your point, to bring it full circle, bro. Like, for real. In America, skin color play a part, bro. It's one of the foundations or whatever, you know what I mean, what we known for. You know what I mean? Like, this is a country that's known for that. Almost first and foremost, other than going to war with people. You know what I mean? But first and foremost, we known for that.
And I'm going to break down this victim mindset and where it roots from. The real problem within our community is the broken homes.
This do not look like the hood. This do not look like anywhere where anything negative. Everybody look like they got their dads in them houses. Like, that's a 2-story house with a garage, got some pickup trucks in the back. Everybody got their people around there. You feel me? Go to the hood and shoot this video. You feel me?
Black fathers are walking out on their families, leaving the mother to carry the load. And then what that does is it
That's a lie. That's a lie. You feel me?
Forces these families to grow up relying on the government. And that's what our kids are growing up seeing. Let's be blunt. Healthy households aren't normalized anymore at all. God did not create women to provide and protect. That is our job. That is what men are supposed to do. But how do we expect this to happen if that's all the children grow up seeing? Just the other day at work, mind you, I do sales. I'm married. I'm 22 years old. I have a 7-month-old kid. Within sales is all about building rapport, building a connection with people. I start pitching the guy, find out he has a kid. I build a connection on that. Hey, dude, I got a 7-month myself. Check this out. Here's a picture of my kid. And then the guy asked me, oh, is your baby mama black or is she white? I respond, dude, she's not my baby mama. That's my wife, and she's black. That right there.
See, yeah, America, they think it's okay to just lead the conversation with stuff like that, bro. This is why your skin matter too.
It shows how normalized the broken system has become.
I hate to say it, you know what I mean? I wish it wasn't like that. I'm not like that. You feel me? I don't feel like other people have to be like that if they chose not to be like that. You feel me? I hate when people say, oh man, everybody's racist a little bit, and if they're not, then that's dumb shit. That's people who don't want to stop being that shit. You feel me? Like,
and that's what Charlie was getting at. I definitely said it better than he did, 100%. But again, I have a career in sales, so I'm supposed to be good at talking. The deal is, Charlie spoke facts. But instead of waking up, people twisted it into racism. Instead of getting offended, maybe wake up and pay attention. And I can say this because I used to...
Man, if somebody black would have came and said shit in the manner and the way and the disrespectfulness of the way that he say shit, then they would have been met with the same scrutiny on the other side. Like, this is why, bro, you are cooning right now. Hate to use that word.
To be a victim too. Blamed all of my struggles and my setbacks on my skin color. The moment I took full responsibility over my life and realized I had the same opportunity as everyone else, that's when everything changed and I started to see success. And
we do got more opportunities now, black people. You feel me? Definitely way more since I was a kid, you know what I mean? And I'm 43, so, you know.
Stop having a victim mentality. We can't keep passing down excuses. We need to pass down accountability, discipline, and strong families. And that's how we can shift out of this victim mentality.
Black applicants to jobs are 50% less likely to get jobs with they have a black sounding name. That's not even close to being true. That's not even close to being true. That is a literal, in fact, it's the opposite.
Lock in, fuck niggas. This is 10 days of debunking Charlie Kirk. We're going to spend the next 10 days fact-checking Charlie Kirk's lies. So if there's a Charlie Kirk video that you want me to debunk, make sure you tag me in it. Let's get it. Charlie Kirk, what the hell are you talking about? Completely lying in this video. Last year, the American Economics Association released a study that shows white-sounding names receive 50% more callbacks than black-sounding names. And these were using names like Jamal, Lakeisha, Emily, and Greg. The University of Alabama did the same study with 83,000 job applications. And when it came to things like entry jobs, white-sounding names had a better chance of getting those jobs than black-sounding names. And then this black guy comes out of nowhere and starts to say that that statistic is wrong because he's able to get jobs.
My name's Keemon Dixon. I have a really black name. Please tell me how 50% of my internships have been denied when I've worked for Senator Mike Lee, Mayor Trent Sack, Speaker Mike Schultz. Hold on. I worked for a congressman, Burgess Owen.
What he doesn't understand is that Charlie Kirk's argument is that black people are actually getting more jobs than white people because of DEI hiring. Basically saying that black people are getting hired more because jobs are trying to reach diversity quotas, which isn't true, and are sacrificing merit to reach these diversity quotas, which isn't true. In other words, Charlie Kirk died believing that black people weren't able to do high-skilled work.
I truly hate giving these white supremacists any type of airtime, but this guy here is really getting on my nerves, this Charlie Kirk dude, so I have to give him a clap back for this video he posted.
Black people are allowed to talk about black culture in a way that white culture cannot. For example, black people can go up and say that there's a baby mama problem in black America, and white people are not allowed to say that. Oh, I just did, so what are you gonna do, cancel me? Black people are much easier to be able to say that black individuals, despite being 13% of the American population, commit 55% of the murder. If most white people say that at a job, they would get fired for being a racist. I don't care because I say whatever I want.
Oh, bless your little colonizer heart. You really climbed on the internet and opened your pale mouth and decided to rewrite history in real time like the rest of us haven't been wide awake. The audacity to claim black people have more intellectual freedom while simultaneously gaslighting the entire globe into believing your fragility is under attack. Now that's rich. Irony is so thick, and it might as well pay for reparations. But I'm going to reveal the lie and hypocrisy behind the Olympics that you just won the new gold medalist for. You say black people can talk about black issues, but white people can't. Well, sweetheart, when y'all own CNN, Fox, Time Magazine, Hollywood, Disney, and the banks, and every Ivy League endowment, maybe, just maybe, you can sit out for just one conversation. And while you're pretending to be gagged, your people are in every boardroom, courtroom, war room, media room, pushing propaganda like it's your birthright. If you're so silent, how come the world speaks your language, worships your whiteness, and mimics your mediocrity in music, fashion, and culture? But I'm going to drop those receipts, the historical Holocaust y'all don't want us to talk about. Let's get into these statistics since you love to throw out black crime rates around like white folks aren't the original terrorists. Let's talk about genocide. 100+ million indigenous people murdered globally via colonization. And how about slavery? Over 12 million Africans stolen, tortured, sold as properties, built your banks, White House, legacy wealth. And what about these serial killers? Oh, you don't want to talk about that. Because statistically, over 76% of serial killers are in the U.S. are white. And how about school shooters? Yeah, those white boys, it's about 90% of them were school shooters, right?
The 82% of them, 92, is named Tyler.
Oh, and let's not forget global extinction. Yeah, nearly every animal now endangered or extinct, white-led colonizers hunted for sport, fashion, and science. Yeah. And what about environmental destruction? You bulldozed the whole rainforests of this world, dumped oil in oceans, and then said climate change like it was a mystery. And let's not forget, you poisoned your own Europeans during the bubonic plague because y'all didn't believe in using soap. So before you speak on crime statistics, check the colonial body count. Yeah, I want to talk about this irony though. You all want to parent us now? You want to talk to us and talk down to us? You say black folks need to get their act together? Sir, y'all are the original baby's daddies, raping our women, selling our families, and now you're confused about single mothers? Your wives were sipping tea while your children suckled on the breast of black nannies. Did you forget? That's the origin of your wet nurse economy. You stole our families and then had the nerve to blame us for the fracture. That's like robbing a man and breaking his legs and then calling him lazy for limping. And don't come for our music, our art, and our soul. You manufactured the whole hedonism and handed the record deals to those willing to sell their souls for the culture you corrupted. Yeah, you say our rappers don't challenge the rock? You own the labels, genius. But I'm going to connect those dots from the plantation to the Pentagon, baby. See, it wasn't just slavery. It was the war on drugs, the FBI's COINTELPRO, the Tuskegee experiment, redlining, predatory loans, prison labor, Black Wall Street bombings, and forced sterilization. Oh, did you forget that? You all orchestrated the problem, blamed the victim, and then handed out Band-Aids and made that BS, okay? Even your DEI talking points are laughable. White women are the primary beneficiaries of affirmative actions. Did you hear that right? You parade black faces for photo shoots, the poster child, while your HR departments remain whiter than sour cream. We see it. But here's the uncomfortable truth, sweetie. We are the blueprint, not the afterthought. We are not just black. We are the descendants of the tribe of Judah, the royal priesthood you've tried to erase. And you know this, which is why your scientists study our DNA, your historians bury our truth, and your politicians silences our speech. You envy our melanin, our rhythm, our brilliance, so you commodify, crucify, and then cosplay it on TikTok. But guess what? You can't colonize the spirit, baby. Here's the inevitable reckoning.
Even if all of that ain't the reason that it happened, the point is that it happened. And it's happening now. You know what I mean? That's the whole point.
Truth, and the truth don't die, it rises. So here we are, sifting through your smoke screens, unearthing your stolen stories, and refusing to play nice with lies. You're not silenced, so stop it. You're sobered, and that sobering truth is this. You can't cancel us when we are the original signal, the source of the frequency, the soil from which God made humanity. You call us victims, but we are the verdict, and the jury is back. Your father is the father of all lies, but our father, he is the truth that exposes every single one. I need you to kindly exit stage left because your time on the mic is up.
I don't know, man. I'm seeing a lot of creators who I very much admire and respect and whose views typically align with mine, saying that, well, Charlie Kirk is a hateful piece of shit, but no family should have to endure the loss of this, blah, blah, blah. And I simply do not have it in me to extend empathy to this type of person anymore. And I don't know what that says about me, and I frankly don't really, if I'm saying this right now so that you can understand who I have become and understand that I do have much empathy in my heart for many people, but there is a level of hatefulness that certain people, and I'm not even saying the entire right, but there are certain factions of the right, there's a level of hatred and violence that they not only accept but seem to appreciate. That when it comes knocking on their door, I have no empathy for that. So I'm sharing this with you now so that you can make the decision. I have no anger. If you decide that you don't want to follow me anymore, that's okay. If we, you know me in real life and you want to distance yourself, so be it. That's just where I am right now. I have endured decades of empathy for people who have never given empathy to those who deserve it most, who have time and time again
they don't even know what they
chosen to step over
just
people
saying
who are on the ground begging for help, literally and figuratively. And it has caused a bit of a soul death in me. Not an entire...
Listen to what they're saying. This is not our words. Listen to what she just said. I'm going to play it. I'm going to go back 10 seconds.
Literally and figuratively. And it has caused a bit of a soul death in me.
That's not my words. It's straight out of the horse's mouth. Their souls are dead. Their eyes are evil. They have nothing that they can give to society that would, and, you know, and nobody's asking. I guess where is this coming from? Like, who's asking for their empathy? Nobody is asking for your empathy. I am actually glad that people are showing themselves and telling on themselves. Social media has been beneficial in that way, in
Yeah.
that it allows for people to reveal exactly who they are and what their end
Yeah.
is and how they're gonna move and what this is gonna look like for them going forward.
For real.
I'm not complaining whatsoever. She said her soul is dead. It's a soul death. If it is the power of life and death is in the tongue, and what's in your heart and what's in your soul, it comes out to the light. And so these people are dead in the inside. The question that we have to ask ourselves is, do we want to go low with them?
Not an entire soul death, but there's a piece of it that is.
Not an entire one.
I have limited empathy now, and I reserve it for the people who I love and care about, and for the people who have nothing in this world and who need someone for them. And Charlie Kirk and his family do not qualify.
And his family. And his family. They want to make sure they throw that in there too. Are y'all listening? Are y'all paying attention?
The buffoonery, coonery, whatever you want to call this, from black people that's upset that other black people are rejoicing, laughing at the Charlie Kirk situation need to be studied. This the most funniest thing I ever seen on social media, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Seeing content creators from all platforms, from TikTok to YouTube to IG, Facebook, whatever, get on here, bucking the mind. No, Lord, now listen now. We not laughing at no Charlie Kirk now. We ain't laughing at him. No. We don't worship the same God. Your God and my God are totally two different things. Y'all are wrong, black people. Y'all are wrong. Now, it's funny. Now, these are the same people that have opinions, disrespectful takes on black women and black men or the black community itself. They say the most foulest things about black people with their opinions. And they mad at us for laughing at the life of Charlie Kirk, a white man. The white man. You have people in interracial relationships, black people that's with a white mommy or a white daddy, get on here and be like, now hold on now, black people. Y'all need to stop now.
Yeah, bro, for real.
Y'all really need to stop. This man had freedom of speech. And he can say what he wants. But y'all need to calm down. Now listen, people in interracial relationships, I understand. You know, if you're married to a white mommy and white daddy, let's say you're married to a white mommy, right? As a black man, you're married to a white mommy. You see Charlie Kirk and your white mommy, you see Charlie Kirk and your white mommy's brother. Even though your white mommy's brother may be nothing like Charlie Kirk, but it just bothers you. It just bothers you. It just reminds you of your white mommy and white daddy. But let me tell y'all something. Y'all worried about freedom of speech and how dangerous it is. We all know what come out, we got a right to say whatever we come out our mouth. There can be physical and harmful consequences of it.
That's the whole thing right there, yo. You can say what you want, but when somebody put blood in your mouth about it, do not cry. Do not take it, charge it to the game. You
Things that we say.
Charge it.
Period.
Bro.
Regardless of what we do and what we say, there are consequences to the words that come out of our mouth because of freedom of speech. But you can still get your life took, get your butt kicked, and a multitude of other things. I'd be a damn fool how much shit I talk about Africans, that if I get unalived by an African, get a dart hit me in my neck by an African, or I get sick eating some food thinking it's some American food, but I'm eating monkey meat, and I catch Ebola. How could I get upset at that? As much noise y'all talk about the Pookies, the Pookishas, the women with 67 baby daddies, the men with 50 baby mamas, relationships, how relationship is this, how a woman don't submit, how all this shit here, how people dress, how kids bad, and y'all shame the mother and the father for raising ain't shit kids. And you think that what you do is not harmful? And you think you just sitting at home, just talking giving your opinion, you think you safe? Huh? You think you safe? Because this is my First Amendment right, I can say, no, man. You can get your head cracked too. Like, come on now. Come on now.
Yes.
Just because
That's
black
for
people
real.
are rejoicing or whatever, it is what it is. A lot of y'all people work out. I see y'all work out. And I hear the songs that y'all play in y'all background about people talking about we smoking on Tuka. Just like Charles White said, we smoking on Tuka. Huh? Y'all hear songs that talk about black people that are victims of violence and people disrespect them. You have black people will pee on somebody's grave.
Craziness.
And y'all crying about this? I don't know what it is about white mama and white dad that breaks black people down. I don't know, it's just like a softness in their heart. Shit, I don't know what it is.
I just want to respectfully outline some things I've noticed since Charlie Kirk's death. I find it really interesting that a lot of you all
Why she don't look like a real person, bro? Am I tripping?
are saying that it is evil and downright immoral to kill someone simply because they have different opinions or views than you, when black and brown people have literally been lynched, killed, dragged behind vehicles for simply existing.
See, that never happened to them as a culture. That's why they can't relate. They can't relate to the reasons why it's getting like it's getting. Because they didn't have to go through none of that. Generationally, you know what I mean? You didn't have to go through none of that.
In black and brown skin. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of y'all's parents and grandparents took you guys to lynchings to watch black people get hung from trees and celebrate it when they did nothing wrong. Black men literally would get lynched for simply winking at white women. I just want you to remember that. Second, I don't understand why you all are nowhere near as outraged at the death of thousands of children at this point in these school shootings as you are with Charlie's death. And I find it interesting because I know he said something along the lines of, well, you know, things like school shootings have to happen for us to keep our right to bear arms.
It doesn't, man. You stop making the school a soft target. Secure the school. There's kids in there. I ain't talking about more than just a metal detector and some resource officers. I'm talking about secure that bitch like it's important, like it is. You know what I mean?
And while I am for guns myself, I have to outline the fact that those words would have never left his mouth if he himself had turned on the news one day just to find out that his children's school got shot up and his daughters won't be coming home that day.
Mm-hmm. That's another problem. Everything all good as long as it's not happening to you. Then when it happened to you, now America got a problem. You know what I mean? It's all cool as long as you can keep it from happening to you. But as soon as it happened to you,
because it seems as though people in this country don't find things a problem or don't care to empathize, which I guess is a woke trait, about things that are problematic until it happens to them or someone that
oh, I just said it. I just said it too, yo. I just said it.
So it's okay if other people's children are dying, as long as I can keep my gun. That's basically what he was saying. So I would like to hear...
But at the same time, man, if we had a government that at any moment wasn't a threat to do everybody wrong, then I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be as big a problem, bro. You know what I mean?
For y'all's thoughts on those two acts.
Like whatever going on in the country, bro, it's the fruit of a seed that got planted a long time ago. The tree got nurtured, they pruned it and everything, and now this the apple. This the apple, now eat it. You know what I mean? Eat it. You gotta eat it now.
I just want to know.
Some people are saying that I'm wrong for being indifferent about Charlie Kirk's death. I don't condone violence. I didn't wish death upon him. However, I'm not going to feel sorry for my oppressor. Why would I feel sorry for my oppressor? You really have to ask yourself that. Yes, I am indifferent. Yes, I woke up today. And yes, I handled my business today. No, I did not dwell on his death at all today. Except for right now. I am indifferent about his death. As a black woman in America who identifies with LGBTQ, I am allowed to feel the way that I feel. And I am going to go about my day.
Fred Hampton had a family. Emmett Till had a family. George Stanley had a family. Trayvon Martin had a family. I can go on and on. But you see the difference between them and what happened to Charlie Kirk? He's a white Christian male living in America. Literally the golden boy for the entire world. They want you to feel bad for that. Now, don't get me wrong. Just as a human being, bro, seeing that video, like, I ain't gonna lie, it ruined my day. But I had to come back to terms like, damn, man, that was really nothing. So many of my ancestors got strung up on trees, burned alive, body parts pulled.
They didn't die as fast. They ain't die as fast as he did.
Pulled off, eaten alive. Then kids had to go on without their fathers. You know, the spouse is like, man, hey.
Last year you said something about DEI, unqualified black pilots. You see a pilot on a black pilot. Don't you think it was an irresponsible statement suggesting that maybe these pilots aren't qualified or unqualified?
No. But I'll tell you exactly what I said and why I said it.
Okay, go ahead.
I said, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. I said, United Airlines is saying that they want 40% of all their pilots to be people of color or women. We have learned that we have relaxed standards anytime that we try to reach racial quotas. Anytime we reach racial quotas, we relax the standards. Standards for air traffic control, professors, or college admissions. Therefore, when it comes to pilots or surgeons, if I see somebody who is black, as I said on the show, I'm going to hope that person is qualified. That's what I said, which of course is legitimate, because they're begging the question, we're not hiring based on merit anymore. We're hiring based on race.
We've all been in the back of a plane when the turbulence hits, or when you're flying through a storm and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit before we took off, and I feel better now.
So when you see a black pilot, you wonder, boy, is that person there because they earned it or because they were placed there? That's what DEI does. It makes you ask questions you otherwise would not ask.
So the airline industry is going to take an unqualified person just based off diversity.
Underqualified, not underqualified.
Unqualified, underqualified, whatever, uncertified, and put them in a.
I ain't gonna lie, underqualified and unqualified to me is the same thing because you don't reach a certain level of qualification. You know what I mean?
No.
And risk people's lives.
Those are two different things.
Same thing, bro. It's the same thing, bro.
Under and un are two different things. Of course, United Airlines will not take someone off the side of the street and put them into a pilot. But in order to reach a 40% goal, they might cut corners. They might accelerate the process in order to reach a goal. We know this through all sorts of DEI examinations and projects over the last 10 years.
Stop telling black people they should be empathetic. Stop telling us how we should feel. Y'all got no right to tell us how we should feel about this. That man talked about the black community in every talking point he had. Every single talking point he talked.
He didn't say nothing about the white community at all. That would have got him some respect from me. You would have got, I still wouldn't have liked you, but I would have gave you some respect if you would have talked about white people the same way you talk about black people, but then you claim you're not racist though.
About the black community. And
that's where you exposing yourself. You feel me?
Some type of way. This man bullied the black community, built a platform off of it, and y'all want us to feel empathetic. He pushed the black community to the ground, kicked us while we were on the ground, and kept throwing dirt on us. His whole digital footprint is racism and bigotry towards the black community, and y'all want us to feel empathetic. Did he deserve it? No, not at all. As a Christian, but as a black man, I understand. All he did was spew negative and hatred and bigotry talking points.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, as a human being, bro, I ain't mad. I ain't crying that he did, but he ain't have to die. Real bad ass whooping or something. Give him some perspective, about why he got that ass whooped. You know what I mean? That might would have sufficed, bro. But damn, you know what I mean? We here now. You know what I mean? Our community.
And y'all want us to feel empathetic. And Dean and Parker, I get it. You on live crying about this, man, but I get it. It could have been you on the other token in the next universe. It could have been you. But at the same time, y'all don't get to tell us how we supposed to feel. When 2 Democratic politicians were assassinated in their own home, y'all didn't have this much outbreak to that. But
ooh,
y'all want to have so much outbreak to somebody who's not even a politician at that. Y'all want to have so much outbreak and tell the black community, oh, y'all are wrong for feeling this way. How are we wrong? When everything you done, you just keep throwing dirt on us. And then y'all spin it, oh, it's the liberals, it's the Democrats. We don't know who the shooter is. Kicker. They released the 2 people that they thought was the shooter. The shooter is still out there free. We don't know who he is. It could have been a girl. It could have been a black person. It could have been a white person. Nobody knows. You got these senators coming out, oh, it's the Democrats. It's their fault. We wage war on them. How do you even know who's Democratic? You don't even know who the person is. Y'all said it was Democratic before the person even got identified. Like, and this is what I mean. Y'all want us to feel so empathetic when stuff like this happens. You can go on his social media. You can go on all these Republican social medias, and they're blaming Democrats. His own social media is nothing but racism, bigotry, racist Republican talking points, and y'all want us to feel empathetic. Stop telling us to feel empathetic to people. Nobody deserves to go through what he went through. But at the same time, I understand, man. I understand. Y'all don't have anything. Y'all don't have the right to tell us how we should feel. Leave us alone, man. Just leave us alone.
Are you talking about gang violence?
That dude right there look crazy. Yo. He look crazy. Yo, this nigga look shell, yo.
Imagine your last words being, are you talking about gang violence?
I ain't gonna lie, boy. I'm talking about karma hit hard right then. Shoot. You know what I mean?
It's crazy how the right loves talking about black on black crime. That's their go-to. Black on black crime. Blacks are criminals. Blacks love to kill other black people. And here you have the loudmouth voice of the right being down by a white man. Are we gonna start talking about white on white crime? Is it time to start talking about white on white crime?
Might be, man. It might be.
Voices, one of your loudest voices.
It might be.
Just got gunned down talking about gun violence. And this motherfucker just died by the hands of one of his own. Is it time to start talking about white on white violence?
Could be. I ain't gonna lie.
Like, I saw the video, and that shit was...
It's kind of brutal.
That shit was wild.
Kind of brutal. Kind of brutal,
that
man.
Shit was wild. It was like... You couldn't write a script for that. Charlie Kirk opened his mouth and was like, what do you mean? Are you talking about gang violence?
And he said it all smart and smirky too, like, that's why I be saying, bro, chill with the energy that you put out, bro. That shit could come back at any time, any kind of way. You don't know, bro.
Smugly trying to poke at the black community. And as soon as the words came out of his mouth, right.
Yeah. This is ironic. It's definitely ironic.
Hey, black people, before you start, yes, Charlie Kirk got pew-pew. This is not our fight. They literally kill us for less. Do not get on here talking about, and no, just because you don't agree with somebody politically means that... Stop. Stop. Stop it. Because I've already started seeing it. Stop. Let the white folks deal with that shit. It was a white-on-white crime. This is not our time to be black saviors to these motherfucking devils. Fuck.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. You know, I don't get political, you know what I mean? Rest in peace to that man, but, you know, shit will go where it go when, you know, they should let people know how serious the issue shit like this is. You know what I mean? I'm not sorry. You know, Wish he could have avoided that, but you know, hey man, this where we at now. You know what I mean? He gone. Maybe it's a lesson learned. Maybe it's the start of some other crazy shit. I don't know. But y'all sub up, know the gang, all that. I got more coming for y'all real soon. I'm out.